Coming up in Centre Circle, another resignation at the JFF. Senior national coach walks away. Corey Burke gets another chance to play overseas. And Hugh Menzies talks about his football academy in Orlando. In November of 2019, Reggae Girlz coach Hugh Menzies walked away from the program, and 2 months later his assistant Lauren Donaldson did likewise. Both coaches are said to be facing the same issue with the JFF and have decided enough is enough.
I can't continue in an environment like this. I don't think it's good for me. I don't think it's good for the players. I just think, you know what, it's time to just move on. I know there was coaches before us. I know there was coaches on the men's team. I know Schaefer was here. He got fired. Yes. He got paid. I know that Simons got fired at one time. The second time he got paid. Okay? I know Bora Milutinovic got fired, and he got paid. And we're talking about big money.
Yes.
You Menzies got fired. Just pay him so we can just move on. And, and you know what? We can write a lot of stuff until fired, resign. Even if you resign,
yes.
Doesn't matter how we want to frame it, then the right thing to do was just say, and it's not a lot of money, or the principle, and I'll use the word principle and integrity, just pay him so he moves on.
But despite the writing being on the wall, JFF General Secretary Dalton Wint says the resignation of Donaldson, who was committed to the women's youth teams, came as a surprise to him.
You have to understand their side and you have to understand our side. Mr. Donaldson is used to run with a club that he owns. He makes all the decisions. That is not what and how the JFF operate. Our decision process is something that is a process. And so we just can't say yes and no to things. And we can act the way that he wants us to act, as quickly as he wants us to act, because we have to ensure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted before we can make a decision on any question that is asked.
Donaldson says his decision is primarily based on the questionable integrity and lack of professionalism within the leadership of the JFF.
I'd love for you to ask him what does he mean by that. Lack of professionalism, lack of integrity. Hey, does he have any evidence to provide to say that there is integrity problem in the JFF? If he has it, then provide it. Let's see.
So you dispute all of you are saying in that?
Of course, and who determines that the JFF is not a professional organization? One person? I can tell you, the truth will come out one day. I remember hearing the president saying that there's a lot more behind this that he is holding back to say, and I am doing the same. Because when people come in and point fingers, there's a lot of fingers that is pointing back at them, you know. But I'm not here for the you say and I say and the back and forth. Football doesn't need that at this time. What we need to do is to focus on what we want to do for these ladies and these young men and ensure that we do it as best as we possibly can.
And holding back against the accusations could be damaging to the JFF, but Wint says they're not into the mudslinging.
But the truth is that it might get even worse when you go out there and start bashing your own, a person who was a part of you. I don't think the JFF is built that way. One of the things that we want to do is to ensure that the work that we do, the body of work that we do, will tell our own story. We had issues. Our ambassador is on board. She's a part of this program. People were saying all sorts of things. Would she be back if we were having all of these problems or these issues were genuine? These coaches are temporarily assigned to these programs and these units. It is for us to decide whether they are employed or not employed, right? I'm saying some of the things, because people have their personal life to live and their career to take care of, we are not the type of organization that will go out and bash people. And we are saying that at this time, we're not doing that.
Donaldson also accused the JFF of disregarding the sacrifices of the coaches and the Reggae Girlz, an incident that goes back as far as the final World Cup qualifying match in Texas, where the girls created history to become the first Caribbean team to reach a Women's World Cup, the JFF top brass was absent.
It was our intention to have gone to those games, myself and the president. Unfortunately, I had a governance workshop in Zurich, which I had to attend. I spent all night watching these girls qualify. I watch it on the internet, right? I was there in mind and spirit. But the president had went with the senior team to Curacao, I think, at the time when that was happening. He was trying to book a flight and had some mix-up. Looking back at it, we would have done things differently. We would have done things differently. If that situation comes up again, we would have done it differently. But it's something that we're sorry that it happened, and I'm hopeful that it will never happen again under our watch. And I'm hoping that people will understand our circumstance, our situation, and be a little bit more gentle and allow us to apologize to them and to see if they can find it in their heart to forgive us for the things that we have done wrong.
But with two coaches gone, Wint doesn't believe there is a crisis, as he says it won't be difficult to fill the vacancies.
There's a lot of interest that is generated, and there's a lot of interest that is there to coach our teams, overseas and locally. We'll find a replacement, and very soon that replacement will be announced.
But with the JFF now in a financial bind, where will the money come from to pay coaches?
Some people demand a lot, some don't. And you have to understand, some are there for the like, some are there for the love. And you have to understand that the JFF will find people that they can afford. They will find people that are committed to the program to continue to coach these young ladies.
Somebody there for the like, somebody there for the love. Where does the previous coaches fall?
I don't know, but I think
No,
that
but
I think these coaches, I think these coaches, I think.
For the love, that mean you know who are here for the likes and who for the love.
I know that these coaches had committed themselves to the program, and we appreciated the fact that they did commit themselves to the program. They are there. They said they were here for the long haul. Some of them have resigned. Some are still here.
So they fall short of the love then.
I don't know. You make
I'm
that.
asking
You decide that for us.
No,
Because I just point out the facts. I'm here just to provide the facts.
One of the issues that Wint chooses to avoid is that of men's use of his credit card during the Reggae Girlz program.
The JFF doesn't have a credit card. I have used my credit card many a times. I have 3 credit cards that I use for the JFF. JFF owe me a lot of funds. I don't go out and tell the world that JFF does owe me. Right? The truth is that all of these monies that Menzies spent have been, if they are reconciled, have been remitted. You have received payment for it. You use your card, and the JFF doesn't have a money. For some situation, you have to use a card. So the JFF would provide him with the funds. He uses his card, and the money is provided. Is that there's no great issue with that? General secretaries before have done it. Before I sit in this chair, I've been doing it, and other persons in the JFF have been doing it too.
But he's still being owed right now.
Mr. Mendes have been owed a portion of his salary.
And what about the remainder of his credit card?
The remainder, anything, remember I said, anything that can be reconciled and the proof is there. Mr. Mendes was paid.
Yeah, but they said that he has received.
Anything that there's, I can have receipt for anything. I can go out there and buy a movie and provide that invoice to JFF. Is it part of JFF work? No. So I'm saying, if Mr. Mendes had provided the proof and approval was granted for him spending his credit card, he will be reimbursed.
Are you saying
he
was
has
been?
been. I'm not saying anything like that. What I'm saying, if he can provide proof and the approval, he will be reimbursed.
But Wint admits that the JFF must find a way to generate funds instead of depending on returns from FIFA.
that's one of the things that we must address and address quickly. We need to find a way how to generate our own funds. We have been generating a little funds, but the operation of the JFF has expanded quite a bit, and so the spend of JFF has increased. And we need to find a lot more sources of income than we usually have. That is not coming in the way that we are expecting it to come, and so we'll have to find a way to ensure that that happens and happens quickly.
Still to come on Centre Circle, Corey Burke hoping that a loan deal in Austria is the start to his European dream. And Hugh Menzies talks about development at the early stage.